What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we are jumping into Destiny 2 alongside the weekly reset on the 29th of July. So it's only the second weekly reset after Edge of Fate, but this week we do get the arrival of ARMSWEEK. So it's a new weapon focused event which brings a shotgun style hand cannon, or one that behaves like a shotgun. We'll talk about that, the event track, and generally what to do. Additionally though, alongside weekly reset we have a patch, so we'll round up everything that's changed today, and we'll touch on some of the featured content, adjustments in the portal, vendor inventories like the Eververse store, and a handful of other things in the video. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to hit subscribe to the channel, as the majority of my viewers haven't yet done that. It would make a massive difference to me here if you feel like doing it, but otherwise now let's get into it. As we get into gameplay stuff for the moment, we'll talk about ARMSWEEK in just a second, but Bungie did say they've added the coil to Fireteam Ops, so if that's something you've been looking forward to jumping back into, it'll be a new option for the power grind. Keep in mind it won't be dropping any of Coil's original rewards, but Bungie did say they've added matchmaking to master difficulty activities in Fireteam Ops now as well, which will help players in general as we start to approach higher power levels. Otherwise, Trials will return on Friday, and that's bringing new weapons and armor. If you want a preview of what those rewards look like, I'll link a video down below, but that's the initial quick rundown. Next up though, we get the patch notes for the update that we've had in the game today, which is patch 9004. So we'll jump straight into the changes right here. Firstly, for Edge of Fate, Bungie fixed an issue where the sieve would not backfill players that leave, so that's good because otherwise players were stuck in there with, well, on their own or just two players, which was annoying. Otherwise, for the portal, they say players can now start Master and Grandmaster activities when they unlock Expert difficulty at power 170. Reminder, enemies are 100 levels above the player, enemies that are 100 levels above the player are immune. That's worth keeping in mind. Otherwise, players will no longer be able to select the Surge boon, an anti-surge challenge of the same element. And otherwise, in solo ops, they say the quick play playlist, the return to orbit prompt during the post activity, has been changed to continue to more accurately describe its behavior. So we're not actually supposed to go to orbit. That is a continue button. That was the intention, but it said return to orbit, which was the previous behavior. Pretty weird. Otherwise, they fixed an issue where quickly launching a master activity could remove its activity modifiers. So that's the first set of changes. Otherwise, in general, they fixed an issue where hit markers were not appearing in the HUD when players dealt damage. And for stats, they say for the health stat, they fixed a problem where high health stat values could cause shield and health values to become desynchronized across the server, which led to unexpected deaths. Otherwise, for weapons, they've reduced the maximum damage bonus from the weapon stat against players from 6% to 5%. On grenades, they've rescaled the passive and active ability regen to hit 100% of the pre-Edge of Fate levels at 70 stat, and then to scale up to 115% at 100 stat, so that's nice. Otherwise, for melees, they rescaled the passive and active ability regen to hit 100% of pre-Edge of Fate levels at 70, then once again scale up to 115% at 100 stat, and the same applies essentially to supers as well, so some of those stat fixes making their way in right there. Additionally, they fixed an issue where the Truth exotic rocket launcher was increasing grenade damage. That's a pretty funky one, didn't know that was actually a thing. They also fixed an issue where Choir of One exotic auto rifle could be fired faster than intended when in semi-auto when using a macro. Otherwise, an issue where high caliber rounds were giving the Crucible slug shotgun pure recollection greater than intended range against players, and an issue where the seasonal fragile weapon mods were not dropping for some players, as well as one where persistent weapon mods and masterwork were not increasing crossbow bolt lifetime. Then, in terms of ammo, they've increased the ammo meter progress with low investment by 50% in PvE, so that sounds like a reasonably big change. They also fixed and re-enabled brick scanner functionality within the new ammo system, and they've increased the amount of ammo in PvE bricks for the following weapons. So that includes lightweight, micro-missile, wave frame, and exterior special grenade launchers. Base bricks go from 3 to 4. Then on rocket pulses, base bricks go from 2 to 3, and enhanced bricks go from 4 to 6. On heavy linear fusion rifles, base bricks go from 2 to 3, and enhanced bricks go from 3 to 4. Then on microcosm, base bricks from 39 to 58, and enhanced bricks from 58 to 77. Additionally, they increase the amount of ammo in PvP bricks for New Land Beyond. That goes from 1 to 2, and they increase the following weapons' base ammo regeneration stats. So Saurus Regime goes from 0 to 90, Bad Juju from 15 to 80, Eriana's Vow from 0 to 75, Fighting Lion from 0 to 40, Enquirer of 1 from 0 to 15. Finally though, in Guardian ranks, they say objectives for completing conquests now properly credit players who do them before the Guardian rank is available. They also fixed an issue where famine modifiers in the portal didn't credit the corresponding Guardian rank objective, and for titles and seals, players who gilded Dredgen or Glorious seals in the current season will no longer gain +1 to their gilding counter when entering orbit. And in general, they fixed an issue where the amount of XP earned through gameplay and objectives was not appearing on the right side of the reward pass rank progress bar. Otherwise, all Destiny 2 accounts have been issued 1 nunnery engram as compensation for the 1 day disabled that occurred during Rite of the Nine. Enjoy that one! And then they fixed a problem where seasonal fragile weapon mods were not dropping for some players. They say these mods will now have a chance to drop from enemies within portal activities, and otherwise an issue where purchasing some exotic armors from Xur did not give progress towards Favor of the Night. So there we go, those are the important patch changes today. Certainly a few positives in there, and give me your thoughts in the comment section. Now though, as we get into the game and the portal right here, we've got a pop-up for ARMSWEEK, which of course is active. It also teases that Solstice is an incoming event right there. Let's have a very quick look at portal related things, and nothing too surprising in solo ops. In Fireteam ops, of course, there are the changes we mentioned briefly before, otherwise kind of the standard completion rewards. Also the coil has been added right here, but those sort of longer, older seasonal activities, I'm not sure are the best things to farm in terms of power. Otherwise, we've got the same rotation of exotic missions featured right here. Bushido Gauntlets featured drop here at the moment as well. Of course, changing from the Mint Retrograde. So on the most part, stuff that we expect to see right here. There's also the hardware playlist inside of Crucible Ops. So that does it for the portal side of things. And then, of course, now that ARMSWEEK is active, we can see the event home. You can launch this from the main portal page. As always, there is an event track with a few different rewards, like the emblem that we can see right there, as well as reroll chips, which will switch up some of the challenges that are featured, of course, dropping the event currency, and things like the ARMSWEEK event weapons engram. Also, there is a tier 3 ribbon tail available right there. We've just ducked out of the game, but a ribbon tail available on the rank track, which is certainly nice. Of course, it has a fixed roll, so have a quick look. It's got proximity power as well as surrounded, but nice to have at least one fixed roll of that available. There's also a fixed roll of the hand cannon right here that we can see at rank 15. Again, it's a tier 3 that's got threat remover as well as swashbuckler. And then, rank 15 is the maximum rank. I know we have to hit max rank to complete things like the sharpshooter title, which is also an option. Now, though, that we're in the shooting range, where is Ada 1? There she is. Not too difficult to find. Of course, standing over here, looking pretty quiet. I believe when we speak to Ada, basically, yeah, we get an initial drop of the hand cannon, which I'm guessing that actually comes with random rolls when you grab it. I would assume, yeah. So we got barrel constrictor as well as binary orbit. This thing can get shotgun bonuses since it has that spread shot behavior. Fires a short range spread of pellets, so it basically is a shotgun hand cannon. Otherwise, inside of Ada's inventory, there are some quests. I think these ones will actually start to drop some of the volatile mods that Bungie mentioned, which are going to be pretty busted, sort of temporary weapon mods. Additionally, though, there will be other hand cannons that we can sort of focus for by spending ARMSWEEK engrams as well as combat telemetry. If you want to try and pick up good rolls on any of these older hand cannons, of course, not in the new tiering system. Also, for the event weapons engram, they do consist of sort of holofoil variants of the 2 weapons that are currently featured. Hand cannon is obviously the primary weapon for ARMSWEEK this time around, but ribbon tail basically can be earned via the event track and through the engram, so random chances of getting good rolls. Also, that new animation for shiny or holofoil weapons that you can see on those right there. So that's a very quick look at sort of getting started in the ARMSWEEK this time around. But as always, I'll keep you posted and let us know any thoughts you have on the event once you get into it down in the comment section. Lastly, though, let's take a look at the Eververse store. So on the front page for Bright Dust, we have the In the Picture exotic multiplayer emote. This one is 4,250 Bright Dust from back in Heresy. Additionally, on front page, we've got the Nightly Noir Mark, so class items from that armor set for 1,200 Bright Dust this week. And then there is the Winning Streak exotic Sparrow, which is up for 2,500 Bright Dust. Then we've got the Loot Chest effects for 450 Bright Dust. And for shaders on the front page, Cruelty Song, available up first from back in Heresy, as well as Jungle Viper. And as always, these are 300 Bright Dust. But to the main section, we've got the Life of the Party exotic multiplayer emote for 4,250 Bright Dust. That one is actually new this season, which is pretty cool. Additionally, the marks or class items from the Stasis set of gear, which are up for 1,200 Bright Dust. And then we've got the Leo Phi Shell, so a bunch of new seasonal items right here. This is the sort of Fighting Lion neon themed stuff. The Ghost Shell is 2,850 Bright Dust. There is also the ship, the Perfect Splice, bit of a cat vibe going on there. That's 2,000 Bright Dust. And then there is the Cyber Jockey, the DJ themed Sparrow right there with some cool crazy neon colors going on. That one's up for 2,500 Bright Dust. And we have the Twin Souled ornament from back in Heresy for the Barrow Dyad, which is kind of a Dreaming City Awoken themed thing, I guess. That's up for 1,250. So nice to have that. Otherwise, there is the cool Kakapo projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. And for the second page of shaders, we have Smashing Success from back in the day, from back in Forsaken, in fact. Once again, these are all 300 Bright Dust. There is additionally Iridescent Coral, and then we've got Carbon Blood on the second page right here. And lastly, Gamekeeper is also available this week. And then finally, for Transmat effects, we have Celebrate Newness, as well as Unspun Fate and Phosphine Stimulus, which are all 450 Bright Dust. So let me know down in the comments section if you plan to pick anything up from the Eververse store this week. I might nab that ghost. And for today, guys, that is everything we have to round up with the reset. I'll keep you posted if anything emerges in relation to ARMSWEEK, things to be aware of there, so hit subscribe and the bell icon down below so that you don't miss out on any content. Also, if you found the video today helpful, a rating really does make a massive difference to me here on the channel, but otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.